A few
Your WavyOcho, I'm gonna react to John Cena underwhelming WrestleMania career.
days ago I made a video on WrestleMania 29, which was main evented by the infamous Miz vs John Cena match, and lately there had been a lot of talk about how Roman Reigns is about to main event his 8th WrestleMania, tying Hogan for the record, and from the video to the record itself, it really got me thinking about John Cena's WrestleMania career, and honestly, how underwhelming it is. As you guys know, Cena is my favorite wrestler of all time, and he was the face of the company for a solid 9 to 10 years, and hey, I know what you're thinking, how the hell could Cena, the man who was shoved down our throats for over a decade, have an underwhelming WrestleMania career?
And now Roman Reigns is shoved down people's throats, if you think about it. Because Roman Reigns is, I think Roman Reigns is a new face. He's currently the new face of WWE. Let's keep it real, bro.
On the surface,
And Roman Reigns has to improve. Like, since he came back as the tribal chief, he's improved his mic skills, wrestling skills, all that, bro.
I understand. The man did walk out of Mania
Roman Reigns
World
is
Champion
well
6 times
protected.
between 05 and 2013, I get that, but I can't help but feel that there is something missing. Cena has only main evented 5 WrestleManias, and for one of the biggest stars in the company's history, that seems a bit low, and there were just so many missed opportunities and disappointments in the grand scheme of things. So let's take a look at his resume and see what really went down. Let's begin all the way back in 05 at WrestleMania 21. This was Cena's second WrestleMania match, and it was the night he became WWE Champion for the first time after beating Donald Trump, I mean 2005 JBL. This wasn't the main event, and it didn't need to be the main event, and the match wasn't anything special either. In all honesty, it was a pretty cold match, but regardless, the point of this match was
But they had a better match after the I Quit match. They had a better match after, and that was their best one.
make Cena champion at Mania, and that's exactly what happened. Cena officially arrived in the main event scene, walked out champion, and off to the races we go. WrestleMania 22 and 06 the next year, this was Cena's first WrestleMania main event, and from the entrance to the crowd hating his guts to making Triple H tap out in the ring.
Damn, and that's true though. People in '06 they didn't jack Cena. Even though he was a face, bro, they didn't jack Cena, bro. They was born this guy, bro. Like, they bought this guy in ECW one night stand. Y'all remember that pay-per-view? Bro, people was violating John Cena, bro. They was chanting all types of crazy shit. They fake chanted all types of crazy shit. But y'all gotta watch it, bro. John Cena versus RVD, one night stand 2006.
This was definitely
If y'all know,
something he
y'all know.
needed. Not only was this a great match, this was a true test if Cena could overcome Triple H in kayfabe and in real life. Going to this match, a lot of people thought Triple H was getting the win here and becoming champion again. There was a lot of Cena backlash at this point, and it seemed like the company was possibly going to pivot from Cena as their top guy and go back to Old Reliable for a little bit. This was the moment where he was really cemented as the top guy. He was champion going into WrestleMania, he retained in the main event. This was it. And the next year in 07, WrestleMania 23, it was time for back-to-back Mania main events. By now, Cena was clearly the guy. There was no pivoting, the fun and games were over, Cena was going over, goddammit. And against Triple H's buddy, closed the show in a banger, and another year down, another win, another great match, 2 main events in a row. So far, quite the resume that was being built. He was the #1 guy in the company, and he was doing what the #1 guy should do, main eventing the biggest show against top talent, putting on bangers, and like I said, the WrestleMania resume was shaping up nicely.
That Shawn Michaels and John Cena match was a great match, bro. That ass.
But this is where things get kinda cucked. Beginning in 2008 at WrestleMania 24. I talked about this match a few weeks ago, and I mentioned how I really thought Cena should have won this match, especially considering how
He did win the Royal Rumble that year, but Randy Orton, I think they want to push Randy Orton, cause I don't think Randy I don't think Randy Orton should have lost it though. You feel me? Cause it will be too soon if Randy would have lost it. And plus, they faced a month prior, a no way out for the WWE Championship.
coming off the epic return at the '08 Rumble, but despite that, despite who wins, despite who loses, despite all that, I think the biggest shame here is the fact that this was not Cena and Orton one-on-one. Randy could have punted Cena's head like a free kick for all I care. He could have won the match and then beat up Cena's dad in the ring for 20 minutes. I don't care. It's not about wins, it's not about losses, but the fact that these two guys, the biggest ops at the time, didn't have a one-on-one match
Nigga said the biggest ops at the time.
at Mania, That's disgusting. This was the perfect time for it. Orton literally injured Cena in 07, beat his dad's ass. Cena makes his amazing return. It's the former champion against the guy who took his belt. The match that has been teased since 2004. The match that was in the intro to SVR in 2004. But nah, apparently Triple H's mom said it was his turn to play and we got a triple threat. And this is what I mean by missed opportunities. Triple H got thrown into this match and it became whatever real quick. Straight into the middle of Mania it went.
I mean, the match was good. Match though, it was a good match though. That triple threat match was a good match.
In reality, Cena vs Orton, that was main event material, and you fast forward all these years, we never got Cena vs Orton at Mania. Oh, and don't worry, it becomes a pattern, because the same thing happens the next year in 09 at WrestleMania 25.
And the John Cena vs Edge, you know, we never got a John Cena vs Edge match at WrestleMania either.
John Cena going for the world title for some reason, but it's fine because you got the rated R superstar Edge, his mortal op. To me, an even bigger op to Cena than Orton, the man who ruined every Cena's fan's childhood back in 06, and it's all lining up to WrestleMania. Edge, who was low-key doing some of the most underrated work of his career at this point. This was the same era where he cut the legendary I Hate You Cena promo. It's all shaping up to be so special.
Well, it's a big show.
Man, what? Why the hell was Big Show in here? It was right there for them. It was all right there. Cena versus Edge at Mania, one-on-one for the world title. But no, here's the Big Show. Big Show's back.
Nah, that I agree. Big Show shouldn't be in at that match, bro. Cena Edge was the right decision, you know.
And he's ready to ruin another Mania match for no reason. Where the hell is Kurt Angle with his tranquilizer when you need him? This annoys me so much more than 08. At least that was Triple H, right? Triple H is still a Triple H. But the Big Show in 2009 in the Obama administration in a world title match at Mania? This Neanderthal literally ruined everything. Back-to-back years of buffoonery, back-to-back years of fumbles. It's actually a shame we never got those two matches. Never got Cena vs Orton at Mania one-on-one, and we never got Edge versus Cena one-on-one at Mania. Two of the most iconic rivalries of the 2000s never truly got their Mania match. Instead, we got these triple threats for no reason, which, yeah, the matches were fine, but really? And that to me is what makes Cena's WrestleMania career so underwhelming. All the missed chances, and we're just getting started. But it's like, I don't see this happening in any other era. Like, whether it's Hogan, whether it's Austin, whether it was even Roman Reigns to this day, if they have an op that's worthy of a WrestleMania match, they're probably going to get the WrestleMania match. Or at least we'll get some of them. But Cena just got done dirty. Fast forward to 2010, WrestleMania 26, Cena versus Batista. Finally, we get back to the big matches. 2 stars, 2 faces of the company, definitely Mania worthy. I still feel like Batista should have won this match and that the shock of the ending would have made the match feel a little more memorable, but it is what it is. Now, we reached a point where Cena did not main event Mania 3 years in a row, which I get, of course. Taker vs. Shawn should have main evented, so should have Orton vs. Triple H on paper, but it's still worth mentioning. However, we move on to 2011
main evented this year.
and WrestleMania 27.
And he main evented 2012.
You already know what it is. Cena versus The Miz in the main event of Mania. We know what happened. We know it was a flop. And it's hard to look at this and not wish it was something else. Anything else. Despite the ending, despite the Rock involvement, the match was just dead on arrival. And they really wasted a Mania main event setting up next year's, which was amazing, no doubt. But damn. Regardless though, 2012 WrestleMania 28. This is the definitive Cena WrestleMania match. The one that drew the most money, the most iconic match of his career. Rock versus...
They promoted it as once in a lifetime. They promoted this match once in a lifetime. But that was a lie.
Cena once in a lifetime. And this was what was missing for so long. Cena was finally back in the main event of Mania against a huge star after years of missed opportunities, and whatever WrestleMania 27 was, this was the peak, this was the moment that will live on forever. But the sad part is, the next year after this was already the end. WrestleMania 29 in 2013. Just like that, Cena vs. Rock 2, and Cena's last Mania main event. As a Cena fan, it's sad on so many levels. First of all, it was a match that nobody really wanted, but once Rock beat Cena the year before, we knew it had to happen. And the Rock match ended.
Cena has to get his win back, you know. You gotta get back.
With Cena raising Cena's hand and passing the torch. Even though Cena had the torch for like 8-9 years at this point, despite the ending being that, this wasn't the torch passing it looked like. This was the end of an era, and we didn't even know. Even though during this time I was in my Cena hater phase, just as a wrestling fan, when you look back at this, the fact that Cena's run, his true run on top ended like this and ended that early, it's rough because it's like, After this, it's just straight down to the mid-card. No more Mania main events after this, the run was over, and there was no one-on-one match with Edge, there was no match with Orton, with CM Punk, all three of his most iconic rivals, and he never got to wrestle them at Mania. And when I say missed opportunity, I mean us the fans. We're the ones who missed out on seeing something special. Cena probably doesn't care, he's happy, it is what it is, but for us, it's different. 5 main events, and 3 of them were spent with the Rock storyline, which yeah, one of the matches was legendary, but the other 2 were just there, they were just whatever, and that was it. It was done, it was over. The next year, 2014, WrestleMania 30, time to take on Bray Wyatt, buddy, which was good, we know it was good, it was solid, but Cena had so much more left in the tank, he had so much star power at this point still, he had so much more left to offer, and I'm not saying he should have been closing the show as champion, I'm not saying he should have been, going over the entire roster, but you couldn't have found him a bigger match, no disrespect to Bray. The fact that Cena and Punk were never even considered for Mania 30 to me is wild, and I'm saying 30 because I know damn well there's no way the company would have ever done it at 29, even though they low-key should have.
CM Punk left, you feel me? You left though.
And Punk heel, let them tweak at Mania for the culture, and who knows, maybe Punk would have walked out after the match then at least, I don't know, but nah, it was like straight to the mid-card you go, and time to build up talent, which I respect, I totally respect it, but I just think he had so much left in the tank. There was so much money still left to be made, so many big matches that could have been done, just so many moments, but as the years go on, it's like, no, time to verse Rusev in 2015, and then before you know it, it's just a wrap. 2016, he's injured, 2017, he's in a mix.
I just noticed something. Cena like beat Rusev and Bray Wyatt streak. Cause before like they even faced Cena, they was winning OD. They was on the winning streak, but when they got in the ring with Cena, they lost. They were for their first off, both first off was Cena.
Tag match just so he could propose to his girl at the time, who he doesn't even end up marrying, which despite wrestling, that's just sad in general. And then it just brings us to 2018, WrestleMania 34, and we're 5 years removed from Cena last main eventing a Mania. We're 5 years removed from him getting his hand raised by The Rock and getting past the invisible torch, and we reach the point where Cena has a 2-minute 45-second match against The Undertaker. I cannot explain to you how depressing this was, and I'm not even talking about the fact that they never officially announced this match, that it wasn't even a proper Mania match. I'm not even talking about the fact that they wrestled a match which was 2 minutes and 45 seconds. I'm not even talking about the fact that Taker literally wrestled a 10-minute match after this. 3 weeks after this, he's literally in Saudi Arabia wrestling for 10 minutes. Nah, it's the fact that Cena and Taker has technically happened at WrestleMania, but it happened in 2018 just makes me so depressed.
It happened in 2018. Imagine what happened in 2029. I mean, 29. WrestleMania 29. How y'all feel? Or 2020 or 2014. What if John Cena would have break the streak instead of Brock Lesnar? How would y'all react?
Taker was so washed that he could barely move to do this match. They waited until interest was as low as it could be, and there was still a lot of interest. That's how big this match was. They waited that long to do it. John Cena in his prime against The Undertaker with the streak would have made so much money, it wouldn't have made any sense. That match would have been so massive, so special, and they never did it. The top guy of the company, Super Cena in his prime, against an undefeated Taker at Mania, it doesn't get bigger than that. That match easily gets over 1 million buys on pay-per-view. That match sells out any stadium in the world, and they never did it. Until it was too late, and then it ended up being this. And that's the thing. If we at least got the Punk match, or the Edge match, or Orton, whatever, and then it's like, oh, it would have been nice if we got Taker and Cena, but the thing is, we got nothing. We got none of those. And before you knew it, the run on top was over. Here's some triple threats, here's The Miz, rematch The Rock, and now go take on some youngsters, pal, which I'm sure he wanted to do, so I'm not blaming him. I get it, he wanted to, help build up some talent, whatever, but what a fumble. And ladies and gentlemen, that's why John Cena's WrestleMania career is so underwhelming. They could have had years and years of bangers, of special moments with the top guy of the company, with one of the biggest stars they've ever had, and they fumbled it and then they cut it short. I know it was still 9 years, and for those 9 years, yeah, it was draining having Cena on top, whatever, I get it, but at the same time, they barely did anything right with them. And when it comes to Mania, was he really on top for those 9 years? There were a lot of flops and matches that did not need to happen, and even after those 9 years, like I said, no disrespect to Bray or Rusev, but you're telling me Cena couldn't have been in any bigger matches? I'm not saying he should have won titles or main evented, but it was such a big drastic change. I mean, Triple H from 05 to 2015 was in bigger matches, you could argue. Now, I know it's easier to do as a heel, but you get my point. Honestly, at this point, they should have just done Sting versus John Cena in WrestleMania 31. The company relied on
versus Undertaker WrestleMania 31.
Cena being such a big star to do all the carrying, so they could do whatever match, just throw the Miz in there, throw a Big Show in there, do whatever, it doesn't matter. But as a result, we missed out on so much. And that's a representation of a bigger problem the company had for so many years, and that was not delivering on the big matches that the people wanted to see. But I don't know, it's just interesting to me. Despite my bias as a Cena fan, which doesn't really matter, like I said, I was a Cena hater for many of these years. You would think that a top guy for a decade, one of the biggest stars in the company's history, would have a better Mania resume than this. Hey, you know who I blame? I can't. Whose idea was that? But whatever, in the comments down below, let me know. Out of all the matches I mentioned, whether it's Cena versus Edge, Cena versus Orton, versus...
Okay, that's the vid. So yeah, bro, let me know what y'all think about John Cena's career. And also comment down below, what is your favorite John Cena WrestleMania match of all time? So yeah, bro, make sure y'all like, what would you rank it? Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, y'all know the vibes, we're checking out you are.